Video.
And we're
Hi.
live!
Happy Friday, everybody. It's Amanda.
And Reagan.
And I'm Amber.
This is our special guest for the day. Amber
Hi.
was one of our founding members, and she is actually going to be leaving us on Tuesday. Not leaving our business, but leaving Colombia. She is going to Colombia in South America.
Yep.
So we wanted to sit down with her today and just chat with her about her experience with us and her experience in her job, because she's a really unique working situation, and she's kind of a co-working expert a little bit.
I am a little bit, yeah.
We're going to chat with her and talk about some other Friday updates.
Yeah, and she has awesome dry sense of humor, so she fits in perfectly with us.
Yep.
So it's been very fun talking with her. Our first reminder that we have is tomorrow we are teaming up with, hi, Shelly. That I cannot do two things at once. Yay, hi. So we have our Como South Shops Corrigans Hunger event tomorrow, and so it is us, Southern Rose, Southport Marketplace,
Plume.
Kelly Fields, and Plume. So if you stop by one or all of them and you bring in canned goods or money to donate, you get like a raffle ticket, and there's a huge prize that we're all donating to, which ours is 3 months.
It's upside down. Oh, just kidding.
no.
No, it's not.
It's 3 months of spare time co-working, which is
1 month.
no, not for for the big one. For the big basket.
Sorry. Never mind. Ignore me.
So for the big basket, which all of us are going in, we have 3 months of spare time co-working, and then our, which is 5 days a month, and then 20 hours of childcare. So 3 packages of that too. So we hope you.
Hi, Nathan.
Hi, Nathan. We're saying hi to Nathan on here, and he's downstairs, and he's sad that he's not here.
Poor Nathan.
Yeah, we'll
He
try
was
to get
invited.
him to pop in.
He's not too sad because he's not up here talking with
That's
us.
true.
So.
We may coax him into. He was one of our first guy members, so he probably should show face to show that guys do come here. Yeah. But then also for the Corrigans Hunger, our personal one. So if you come into the hatchery during our open house and you bring food or bring money and get raffle tickets, you can win. Now you can hold it up.
1 free month of spare time co-working, as well as a PEEP childcare package, and that is over a $200 value. So we would love to give that away to someone who helps us score against hunger tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we will be here tomorrow at the hatchery office from 10 to 4. And I think both of our kids are going to make an appearance at some point. So
Possibly.
if you're interested in that hot mess show,
Come on back.
come on down.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be here, but I'm going to work.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you can see live co-working tomorrow by
Live
Amber.
co-working.
Yeah. And you can
it'll
get
be
her,
me at my computer doing
Yeah.
this.
and you can get her autograph, because I mean clearly with her going to Colombia
Right.
and being famous.
Yeah.
I like saying that. I'm such like a white girl. Colombia, my southern Ashland. So that's all that is. So we are now really excited to do our first interview. And Amber actually called me whenever we were setting up the hatchery, and she's like, "Hi, I'm Amber. I need co-working. I saw that you have one. Can I sign up?" And I was like, "What?" Just happened. It was like on a Sunday, and I was like,
And it
so
was kind of late. It was like
excited.
after dinner, I think, or...
No, I think it was early afternoon, because I was so excited for like the rest
maybe I
of
was
the
like,
day.
she's probably napping. That's what people do. Maybe should I not call?
Not with the 2-year-old.
Right.
You don't get
Right.
to nap with the 2-year-old. Yeah. So I was super pumped, and I was like, "This happens?" Like, I've been, trying to prospect people, and she's like, "Yeah, I know what co-working is. I've been to like 20 of them." I'm like, "Hi, can we go to lunch?" So I've never been to a co-working space, so that was awesome. So we met for Mexican,
My fave.
and that's where it bloomed
Oh.
from there.
We've
So,
been BFFs ever since.
Yeah. So I guess go ahead and say what you do.
Yeah, so I'm Amber, and I am a digital nomad, which means that I travel around the world and run my 2 online businesses from my laptop. So back in, 2012, maybe, somewhere, maybe
When you don't
2013.
have to keep track of time,
Yeah,
it just
I don't
kinda
know,
gets
it's
away
all
from
weird.
you.
In my previous life, I worked for the government in Washington, D.C., did the, 8 to 5, but mine was more like 8:25 to 4:15. And, like, had the real, like, corporate life, wore a suit to work every day, and then,
that sounds terrible.
It was. Well, I don't know, it wasn't as,
Yeah,
it wasn't as bad, but, like, I lived in D.C., so I had a crazy commute. My apartment was 3 miles from my office, so it took 40 minutes to get to work. 3 miles, so that's
we
awesome.
would never be on time.
Yeah.
I'm already not on time, and it takes me like maybe 5 minutes to get here. So
Yeah, I live
Yeah.
a mile and I'm late.
So when I was in DC, I started my first blog, and then that blog turned into my first business, and my first business turned into my life coaching certification, and my life coaching certification turned into, I don't want to work in DC doing the corporate thing. So what can I do? So I found a coach. She was already living overseas, hired her, and she was like, you should quit your job, sell everything you own, and move to Bali. And I was like, no, that's not going to happen.
That's normal.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm just super type A, and I needed to do some, I needed to sell everything, and I gave my work like 3 months notice, and, explained to my grandparents what the heck I'm doing, and I'm still working on that part. And so I just needed to do things on my own time, and then once I did all of that, then I sold everything I owned, quit my job, and bought a one-way ticket to Southeast Asia. Traveled around Southeast Asia for 9 months. While I was in Bali, I met a girl who was starting a fashion technology startup very similar to Stitch Fix. People are familiar with getting clothes delivered, but she was doing super expensive clothes, like $500 for a sweater. Great. Who buys that?
Yeah.
I don't know, not me. I'm like the Gary Vaynerchuk $30 t-shirt girl.
Yeah.
So she asked me if I would go to London with her to help launch her startup. So I did that after Asia. And then I came back to the States at the beginning of this year for the holidays and all of that. Spent a month in Mexico earlier in the year. Then I went to Costa Rica for a while. And then I was like, oh, my sister's a teacher in the area. I'm going to spend the summer here with them while they're home. And realized I can get nothing done with all of those people around. So I need co-working.
Yay.
So found Amanda and was like, I would like to come co-work. And she's like, we're not open. And I said, I don't care. I need this. And she was like, we don't have floors. And I was like, yeah, I don't care about, do you have a chair for me to sit at? Great, see you tomorrow. So that was kind of how it all started. And now I'm leaving again.
Yes.
Yeah, in a couple weeks, I'm heading to Medellin, Colombia. There is a large digital nomad community there. So heading there to check out that community. Bought a one-way plane ticket. So I don't know how long I'll be there or where I'll travel while I'm there. So yeah. Heading out in a couple weeks.
So that's awesome.
Yep.
So I want to ask it's kind of a crazy question, but I haven't thought of it yet. Well, I guess tell them about your processes, finding your next space. What's important for you to go to your next spot?
To my next co-working space. So important qualities for me in a co-working space are 24-hour access. Or they used to be, at least, because...
Or location, too. I know, you talk about, scuba diving and being able to do that.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I'm, the overall whole
Yep.
thing. Yeah.
So the space itself, let me start there. Whenever I was in Asia, most of my clients were in the U.S., so that was a 12-hour time difference. So it was really important that the co-working space had 24-hour access. It's a little different here in the States, and now that I'm going to South America, because we're on the same time zone. But... I'm a night owl, so I do like the idea that I can stay late or come in on the weekends or whatever. So 24-hour access is important to me. Private offices are important, or just a private room, because I have my own podcast and I do podcast production. So it's important to me that I can go into a room for an hour, do the podcast, and then come back out into the communal workspace and do that. And that is probably the two things that really matter to me for the space specifically. Whenever I look for new places to live, the really important thing for me is community, because I don't speak another language and I don't try to speak another language, honestly.
Hey, self-awareness is where it's at.
I've just been to so many places. It's just crazy to think that I'm going to learn how to count to 10 in Thai and then learn how to count to 10 in French, and then, I
have the one, whatever it's called, to where, you learn Spanish. So if you need to borrow that, it's pretty dusty at my house. Yeah, Shawn's still waiting for me to actually do that.
Right.
still
So,
haven't, Shawn.
Plus, I also think, like, if you were tying yourself to that criteria, your ability to leave would be so small. Because, I mean, all of us are really short on time for anything, let alone learning an entire new language. So I think if you were getting caught up in that, you probably wouldn't be jetting off to where you wanted to be.
Exactly.
And obviously, you've made it work for yourself.
Yeah,
so.
and I always give myself permission to not like a place. I think sometimes when you move, even if you're in your hometown or anywhere and you move to a new apartment or a new house, you feel like, I just signed a 1-year lease or I just got into a mortgage, I better really like it here. And sometimes you don't. And it's a really hard pill to swallow when you get someplace and you unpack and you're like, there's too much street noise and I can't sleep at night, or there's not hot water and I can't shower, or, you know, like, and I can handle, you know, some bugs and some dirt, but like not every day, over and over, you know, so like there's just things that you find that you just can't deal with. And I've really given myself permission to not like a place, and that's okay. So whenever I went to Asia, I was in Thailand for 2 months and it was like overwhelming. Like, oh my God, I just quit my job and just moved to Thailand and I hate Thai food and it is hot and my apartment doesn't have air conditioning and what the hell was I thinking? and I stayed 2 months because the community was great and it had all these other great attributes. And then I got to Cambodia and it was like hell. And after 2 days I was like, I'm leaving. I hate this place. And my sister was like, stay a month. You're allowed to hate it, but try. So I did, and then on like day 29, I was like, I gotta go to Bali, right? Like, people like Bali. I'm gonna like it there. So I really try to give myself permission to not like things, but also that you really have to try. So now that I've done it for a little while, I know that community is super important. A really solid co-working space is important. In Chiang Mai, Thailand, that's like the digital nomad hub is in Chiang Mai, and it has a huge cafe culture, which is great, but not for me because I'm so type A. Like, I need to know that's where I go work, and I go there at this time, and I get up, and I'm in a pretty much a routine, and so I really need that wherever I go. So that's something I look for, and then whatever your hobbies are. So some people are just like all about the beach and just want to lay on the beach all day. I want to scuba dive twice a week. Other people want to be away from any tourists. So like Chiang Mai was good for that because it's like backpacker community, not like rich white people on the beach community. So yeah, I try to factor all of that in. But number one importance to me is community and established co-working spaces.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. 2 things. One, I almost interrupted you.
No, it's fine.
Shawn gets on to me all the time. I'm working on it. Is that like you being so type A to like buy a one-way plane ticket to a place you've never been before, and you have an apartment for 2 weeks and then you don't know your next move. Like that's
scary.
Yeah. But it's so cool that you can do that, like to have that type A. But now knowing like you've traveled however many countries, you know kind of what to look for.
Right. Well, when I went to Thailand, I did the one-way plane ticket, but then I got an apartment for the first month, and I prepaid for my co-working space for the first month. And while it feels really good now when I'm not there, like, I know where I'm going when I get off the airplane, I know where I'm going when I wake up tomorrow, like, that feels really good. If you don't like it, I felt really trapped. So whenever I got to Cambodia, I did the same thing because I wanted to feel secure. I rented my apartment for a month, rented my co-working space for a month, and I'm like, this is hell. But I already did it. You know, like I already spent the money, I already leased a scooter, like I already did all this. Now what do I do? Do I lose the money? Right? Like what do you do?
Yeah.
So then when I got to Bali, I was like, I'm doing Airbnb for 2 weeks. I'm gonna check it out. See where people live. See what it's like, and then you can usually stay longer, or at least stay in if you do Airbnb, you can at least stay in the neighborhood.
Right.
But like moving sucks.
Was
Airbnb
like pack
a
up. Thing before, like when you first went?
Yeah.
Was that a thing yet? Okay, I couldn't remember when it started.
Yeah. So
which is so crazy.
Yeah,
to think,
which is great.
I'm gonna go across the world and stay in a.
But Uber's everywhere also.
Yeah.
So when I think like I'm at the airport, like I'll just get an Uber.
Right.
Like everywhere else.
Yeah.
So that's really nice also.
Yeah. Has there been anything that you now, like when you come back home to where like we have everything we really need here?
It's overwhelming.
Yeah. Is there anything that you now appreciate more that you maybe didn't from living in places like Thailand where it was hot and you didn't have
well,
air
just being
conditioning?
cheap. I eventually moved to a room with air. I was just being... I was like, I'm not paying more than $120 for my apartment for a whole month. And I was like, $150 for air? Sold. And then I'm like, you idiots, $30, you know, like, that's 3 trips to Panera,
but I'm sure it's like, you know, you don't have that steady stream of income.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know, like, but it's almost in that switch of, instead of thinking like, I can't afford air conditioning, it's like, okay, how many more blog posts do I need to write in order to like, pay for the air that I really want? Yeah. You know?
Or that I need for my sanity.
Right.
Or to sleep at night.
Yeah.
What was the question?
Is there anything that you
surprised
realize you
me?
appreciate? Well, no, that you
that I appreciate now about the States.
Yeah. Or just in life.
Yeah, I mean, hot water is really nice. You know, and just even to just stand in the hot water and not feel like, okay, I'm gonna shampoo and condition all at once and then like soap up my body and rinse off before all the hot water runs out. It's just like you just stand there and like, and like your skin just gets red and you're like, yes, it's so nice. So I appreciate that. What's really funny is that I was riding like a scooter moped for like 9
months. I could see you with your helmet on.
You know, right, exactly. And like my brain's not paid off yet with my student loan, so I was like all about the helmet, and not everyone was. And they're like, "Oh, I can tell you're an American because you have student loans." I'm like, "Yeah," and it's not paid off. So like, this is my moneymaker, guys. Like, this is all I have. But what's really nice is like in a car. You don't get wet when it rains and you have to drive somewhere. Oh. So that's nice.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Do you have like a poncho?
Yeah, but that sucks.
And that's not going to help you when you're
yeah.
It was more just
like your goggles and your
right.
your poncho.
Well, and like the rain hurts.
Yeah.
Well, how fast were you going on your scooter?
I'm probably like 20 or 30 kilometers, but like it's still...
Is that it? Like 40, 45? I always I think it's
wow.
too dumb.
I feel very dumb and white right now for even saying.
I probably shouldn't even said it.
But I don't know. We both looked at each other like, what is it? Like, Amanda, do you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Let me Google that really fast.
I don't remember.
Yeah. But it's still faster than walking.
Sure.
So hurts. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, so that's really nice that you can like get somewhere and not be totally soaked.
Right. And probably a little bit faster. You can drive faster.
And you know, we don't have typhoons. So that's nice.
True, yeah.
Or earthquakes.
Yeah.
Not at least here in the States. But I did find that things were really overwhelming when I got back here.
Because we just want everything.
Because there's choice here.
Ooh, yeah.
So whenever I got back, so crazy, fun fact, Bali doesn't have underwear. Crazy.
Oh.
Like people would have to go to Jakarta,
so
which is like another island, another Indonesian island, and like, or they'd go to the Singapore or the Kuala Lumpur airport and just like buy all their clothes there, and you could just not find underwear on the island. Super. Even the locals would like go to Jakarta to get their underwear. So weird.
That's so interesting.
Why did they not? Why did somebody not be like, I'm gonna start selling underwear because clearly I can make some money?
Just put a gap in the market.
$150 a pair.
Yeah.
Right. Gap in the market.
I'll take
guys.
2.
But they washed. So I'm just kind of snobby and like outsourced my whole life. So like laundry and everything. And the first place I lived out in Bali, they were washing my clothes in the river, like on rocks, and like everything just like changed color slowly. And then when I moved to a different apartment, they were washing them, I'm pretty sure in like a washing machine, because I could see some machines in the back, but I'm just like skeptical. Like I'm pretty sure they were just washing my clothes in the river, which is fine. Like whatever, bring me back clean clothes and I'll give you 40 cents. But you know, my clothes started getting holes. And like in the same spot.
Well, like they're like rubbing it on the rocks.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the exact, so all my underwear had holes in the same spot. So I get back and I don't own anything. So I don't have a car, I don't have a cell phone, I don't have anything. So I get back and I'm like, okay mom, I need you to take me to AT&T to get a SIM card. I need you to take me to Target because I don't have underwear. I need you, you know, like I just need to do all these things. And we go into Target and I was just like, there's so many underwear.
Yeah.
And then my mom's like, what size are you? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. How do you know what size underwear?
Try those on.
Well, you can't, because they just come in like a packet. I mean, unless you would go somewhere where you're like picking them out individually.
But even then you don't.
But I don't
try
need
them
that.
on.
Yeah.
Right.
These didn't fit, you can have them back.
Yeah, but I don't need that either, because I don't have space. I don't own anything. I only have a backpack and a carry-on.
Talk about how many like items of clothing.
That was actually going to be my question was going to be like, at what point was there a point for you where you realized that this vision for your plan in life was so much more valuable than all of the stuff
Yes.
that you were carrying around?
Yeah.
And what was that moment for you? Well, whether it was a moment or a bunch of moments.
So
how did that come about?
So when I was in DC, I lived in DC for 8 years, worked for the government in various capacities for almost 10 years, had an apartment, was making tons of money, all that. And then when I decided I was going to do this, you really have two choices. You put everything in storage and you pay $500 a month in DC for storage, or you sell it all. And honestly, when I left, I hadn't started my writing business, so I didn't even have income from that. I was living off my savings. So I was not about to spend hundreds of dollars a month on a storage unit. So I knew that I had to get rid of everything. And some things were really easy, like my kitchen, no problem. My bedroom set, no problem. All my clothes, no problem. But like my couch, all of a sudden became super important to me. Like, I bought that couch 10 years ago at Lazy Boy, and that's my couch, it was my first adult purchase, and I just felt like so attached to my couch.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, you could get on Craigslist right now and get a free couch.
Isn't
like
it so
anytime.
weird how we do that?
Or
emotionally attached to a couch?
Or go to Lazy Boy and buy a new one.
Right, yeah.
Right? Like, if it were that important to me.
Right.
And one day it might be, right? Because I don't have anything.
Yeah.
If I do decide to stay in Kansas City or Columbia or anywhere, and I'm sure that I will one day, I'm going to have to go do that. Because I have nothing. I don't have forks. I don't have, towels. I literally have nothing. And I'm going to have to go to Lazy Boy and buy a couch. And it's going to be fine. But like, I don't know, I just got so attached to it. But like clothes, I didn't care about. And I kept all my books and I kept all my outdoor gear. So like all my camping stuff, all my ski stuff, all that. So I kept those two things and then some clothes. Because my sister now just wears all my clothes, so that's fun. Yeah. But it was hard getting rid of things, and it was hard thinking like, that was my version of success, like I worked really hard for that, and I paid a lot of money for it, and like at one point I looked around and was like, everything in my house is from Pier 1, not IKEA, and like that's fine, but in the moment I was like, and I'm better than all the IKEA people, but
which is what the hatchery is made out of. So
but now now that I don't have anything, I feel like it's crazy to spend so much money on things that really give no value back to me. Yeah. So now I think my perspective has changed so much. But now when I want to buy things, I really need things to last. Yeah. And I really need things to have a few purposes. Yeah. So, because I only travel with a backpack and a carry-on, like I can't have a one-use item. Right. Like I don't have space for that.
You need a Swiss Army knife, like a screwdriver
for everything.
Yeah.
Like if everything needs to have multiple 12 purposes. Yeah.
That's so interesting.
But then I think things like, I could just use a hair tie to tie that together. Yeah. I could just use this, so I've become creative in that way. Yeah. But yeah, the value shift of what is materialistically important has definitely changed, because I don't feel like I need anything. I feel like I need nothing.
Which is like when you hear like some people go into Target and they're like, I walked in for one thing and I walked out with 15 because I needed those. Right. Like to you, you're probably like, nah. Right. You don't. Like, you know. But it's so weird like how we're programmed.
Right. That's definitely our culture.
Yeah. And it's just like advertising, like winning. Like advertising is doing their job, but I also don't have the space for things, so I only have 10 shirts, and like I have these pair of jeans that are about to die, so I bought another one when like the back to school sale stuff was happening, and those are like ready to go. Like I haven't even worn them yet because I'm like, I'm gonna wear these till they die.
First day of school is like first day of Columbia for you. Yeah.
But then thinking about like the weather's different, and I don't have clothes for that weather because I've been in Asia where it's been super hot, so I have like tank tops and shorts, but now I'm going to where it's like spring, so I need jeans and long sleeve shirts, which I don't have. So it's like,
can you borrow those from your sister?
Right. Well, now it's just like figuring out what do I really need, what can fit in my bag, how small can I fold things. Right. I'm like an expert packer now. So
well, and I would think like layering a little bit too for like that springtime weather.
Exactly.
It's like chilly in the morning and
Yeah, or just like
Or-
almost like a zip up jacket, not like a hoodie because that's way too big.
Right.
I'm not traveling with a hoodie.
Right.
But like a zip up, almost.
Windbreaker
Type of thing. Yeah. So now it's just thinking about like what use does this have? Is it going to be valuable? And if it's not, then you just have to get rid of it when you're there. But like I bought this shirt a couple weeks, probably 3-4 weeks ago now.
Shout out our Gary Vaynerchuk shirts. So we have.
I'm not cool.
Yeah.
One day you will be.
Yeah. When you love Gary Vaynerchuk, shout out.
Yeah,
Please
hey,
like
Gary.
our video. Love Gary Vaynerchuk. That was one thing I was like, ooh, have you listened to him? And yes.
Obviously.
And so.
My grandma is
this?
watching, so I really want to say hi.
Oh,
Hi, Grandma.
What do you call her?
Reagan's grandma.
Grandma Hanny.
Oh,
She said hi, guys.
Oh, hi. Yay. You need to get Reagan a Gary Vaynerchuk shirt.
Yeah.
You
They're
do a
only
lot
like
for me. You don't
$30.
have to get me a Gary Vaynerchuk shirt.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding, Grandma. Just kidding. Oh, awesome. Well, I think it's super. It's been super beneficial to have you here because a lot of times, like I said, Reagan and I've never really been to co-working spaces ever before, and so we've definitely like asked Amber a lot of questions, and it's been so beneficial for us to kind of see like what we think, and they'll be like, maybe we should ask somebody that knows. They're like, hey, what do they do in Asia?
Right.
You know, to really like keep ourselves fresh,
Yeah.
and to like know what people want, and because they're probably way more forward thinking than Columbia, Missouri. So we're sometimes, yeah. So, but like that's been super beneficial. So we are very, very grateful.
Oh, good. Thank
for
you.
that, and just for the laughter that we've had here. I don't even know like the topics that we've talked about.
I feel like
We've forged really good
I feel like we
friendships.
all
in
really
just a few
know
weeks.
each other very
Yeah.
well.
We do, yeah. It's been fun. And
I don't
you've
want to
been-
start talking because I'm going to start
Oh.
crying.
Oh,
about
don't
it.
cry. You should come visit me.
I'll sell all my crap too and just come along.
Well,
someday.
you don't have to be so extreme. You don't have to be so extreme.
No, you're staying here, but you may go to visit. I need you.
She gives you
here.
permission.
Yeah, no, that sounds terrible. Like I need you here way more. Skills.
I'll be fine.
Let's get.
And then
through.
I'll launch the hatchery.
There we
Oh,
go.
there we go. And then you're
Columbia
international.
or
Yeah,
Bali
there we
or
go.
wherever.
There we go. Yeah. Look at that. That's what happens here.
Yeah.
Dreams get made. Yeah.
That's my grandma. She's
Oh, be careful what you say. That we're not very good at that. We tend to word vomit sometimes. I think one thing that's been fun is for those that know Nathan Bright is who we were talking about earlier. He's super.
He's so much more organized and planned out
Yes.
than any three of us
Yeah.
will ever be in our
Excuse you.
lifetimes, I think.
Maybe us too.
I mean,
But he's very atypical, but it's been interesting to like kind of sit back and hear like the conversations that you guys have had who did not know each other from Adam.
Nope.
I knew Nathan, you didn't know Nathan, but like to hear the things and like to push him beyond like his thinking of different ways, because like he is very atypical, like comes in, like cleans off the table, puts his stuff down, like very neat, and then there's Reagan and I, who some people spill coffee all over the walls some
pretty
days.
much threw an entire cup of coffee at the wall and all over our desk today. Just
But it wasn't a computer,
no. So
we didn't care.
I
about
have
the
a
wall.
get out of jail free card as long as it doesn't wreck any expensive electronics. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think that's really just the cool thing that I didn't know what co-working would bring. And I think that would be neat because, like, I don't know, I think you guys will have a friendship that goes beyond this.
Right.
And so that'll be super cool.
But it was really nice. Yesterday, I sent out, like, my out of office, basically, to my client saying, like, hey, I'm traveling in a few weeks. Like, these 3 days I won't be able to check my email. And it was really nice to say, hey, can you look at this real fast and tell me, like, am I being too unavailable?
Right.
Am I being like, don't email me? You know, like I didn't want to be like snobby about it, but I also want to be like, I'm moving. I'm probably not going to check my email. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was, and I said like, should I call it out of office? Because I don't have an office. You know, so do you even call it that?
Yeah.
So it was nice to be like, hey, are you busy? And he was like, yeah, let me do this thing, and then I'll look at yours.
Yeah.
You know, so it was really nice to just have that interaction. Took 10 seconds and saved me just like all this overthinking, and then I could just send out my
100%,
emails.
yeah.
And that's just so nice
Yeah.
to just have someone to just look at your stuff real fast and then get back to work.
And we've totally seen that, not just in Amber and Nathan's relationship, but across the board as far as co-working people go, I think almost everyone who's been in here has said, I've had a conversation with someone I would have otherwise not. So it's been awesome.
Because I feel like a lot of like the networking stuff and the like events that you go to, it's like, hi, I'm Amanda, here's my business card. And it's just like, it's just that top layer. And here it's like you're sitting there for 4 hours, like you're gonna start talking to somebody.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know if it's just like the type of people that we're attracting, but everybody's just so cool and awesome and has their own story, and they're like open to like have a discussion and to talk to. Like today we talked about like our parents being divorced, like dating people with kids, like the most random things that
but this is also real life. I feel like if you are a coworker, you don't have a huge difference in your work life and your home life. Like it's all kind of together. And sometimes you do bring those things as you're thinking about them in the car right in, and then you're just sitting down and you're like, hey, let me just get your opinion on this. And then we have a quick chat, we have some laughs, and then like we all get back to work, and then like and it flows so much better, unlike a typical office where it's more like, I need to work, and now we have to go to a meeting, and now we have to do this, and it's so regimented and fake kind of, and that this isn't really like this.
The reverse of that, like you were saying, where as an entrepreneur, sometimes your work really does become your life in a way that isn't healthy. And I think having the break of like co-working spaces, or at least like finding someone else that you can talk to who does something similar, allows you to have that mental break, so you're not taking all that junk home with you and letting it seep over into other meaningful relationships.
Exactly.
And even like with Shawn, like he gets a lot, like he's a huge sounding board, but it's stuff that like he's not involved in every day. So some days he's like wants to listen and help, but some days I know he's probably like, okay, that's great. But like if I'm talking to people that it relates to, that I'm able to like, I don't know, I feel like it's helped him. But that like you're not,
I would say it's definitely a very like-minded community, and it stops you from draining those kinds of relationships
that's
where
much
you're like,
said.
you know what, I love you, but I really don't want to hear about your office for the 500th time. Like,
but it's so awesome.
But, but it is really cool. So.
But even just to like brainstorm, and one thing that I've learned with like creating this is like instead of like Reagan and I overthinking with something, it is like go ask the community. Like ask you
and
guys
luckily
what
your
you
community
want.
is literally sitting next to you.
Yeah, and be like, hey, would you guys want this? Yeah, okay, we'll implement that soon or something. Yeah, or no, that's wouldn't be necessary. Yeah.
But then on the other side of that, if I have a project deadline coming up, I can go sit somewhere else. Or go into an office, or put in my earbuds and be like, all right, guys, like, it's been really great chatting. I need to do this thing. Let's do it 3 o'clock. And no one's mad, and it's not like I'm offending you. Or, if I sit somewhere else,
like Amber's in Hatter Beach Station, sitting on the other side.
And I think in a traditional office, it's like, well, you didn't come by and say hi this morning. I wondered where you were, or I didn't see you getting coffee in our kitchen. And it's like, I'm working, right? Like, I'm busy.
How dare you?
Right. And I think that the office politics in a traditional office don't exist here as much. So that's really nice also.
Friday Facebook Live.
Do you want to come say hi?
Who is this person?
This is Shawn.
Oh, hi. Like, there's a random man.
Talking about you.
There's a random man that just walked up the stairs.
Hi, guys. This is Shawn. This is who I talk about all the time. Hi. He's going to come home because we're going to get some lockers here. So those that want to keep stuff
just as I leave.
So when you come back, we're going to get all the things.
Well, you don't have that much stuff, so.
I know, but I would have liked to keep, like, candy here or something.
Oh, it's next door. That gives you and Reagan time to go walk next door. Then go get a candy bar together. It's cute. Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So
this has been so great for me. I'm so glad you opened.
Oh, yeah.
Us too.
We pushed to open just for Amber and Nathan.
I gotta get to work,
actually, guys. I really need a space. I'm like, we're not open, but you can come try it out.
And I'm like,
that's
see you in the morning.
She's like, hope you have internet. I'm coming. With bells on.
Right.
So awesome. Well,
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll have to keep in touch, clearly, while you're in Colombia.
And remember, tomorrow, 10 to 4 at the Hatchery, Score Against Hunger. Come bring us your canned goods or your cash money, and we will donate that to the food bank.
Emily, lockers, right? We're going to spray paint them some fun color. I don't know. You do that.
I mean, I'll pick the color. I don't know if
Right.
I wouldn't let Nathan do that. His would have like one line.
Oh, it would take him a while.
Yeah, it'd take him forever.
We
We
love
don't have
you,
time for that,
Nathan.
Nathan.
Yeah, love you, Nathan. All right.
Thanks, everyone.
So,
Have
yeah,
a good
thank
weekend.
you.
We hope
Have
to
a
see you
great
tomorrow.
weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh my gosh.
Finish.